Here. They are so dead. Here.
Match found.
Just take a seat. I got this.
Reloading.
One enemy remaining. Spike down A.
Your tactics failed. Burn bright, Phoenix.
I got you, bruv.
Enemy spotted mid. Enemy C. So long. Enemy C. There they are. Good attempt. Enemy C. Just swag.
One enemy
That's
remaining.
done.
Right there.
Flawless.
Pity the man who dies meaningless.
I'll outshine all their radiance.
Right there.
Spike down A.
Akwawepa. Enemy spotted A.
Spike planted.
Enemy A.
Careful now.
Wall raised.
One enemy
No, you
remaining.
don't. No one else could do this.
Last player standing.
The nightmare is becoming real.
Gun here. Give them no ground.
Target down. Careful now.
One enemy remaining. 30 seconds left.
Right there.
It is done. Wait until I blind them to strike.
Reloading.
Right there.
Reloading.
Hey, yeah, good. Got that. Careful there.
There they are.
Satisfying.
Spike planted.
One less.
À bois.
One enemy remaining.
This girl goes bye-bye. Obscuring vision.
Stealing sight.
Last player standing. Clutch.
Take aim, then fire. Let's not complicate it. Focus now. Eyes off me.
Enemy spotted A. Rest.
Spike down mid.
Enemy. That creature is dead.
One enemy remaining.
There can only be one hero. Feels good to stretch my wings.
Gun here.
They are so dead.
Get out of my way.
Like it. Enemy spotted A.
Spike down A.
Wall raised. Spike spotted A.
One enemy remaining.
Down. Your duty is caught. Enemy spotted A.
Right
Careful
there.
now.
I survived obliteration. I will survive them.
Together, Phoenix.
Cover going out.
Reloading.
Enemy spotted A.
Silence.
Message sent.
Spike planted.
Enemy
So
spotted.
shot.
One enemy remaining.
Too stupid. Well divided. These interruptions. We defend this place, so we defend this reality.
Stand tall. We are Valorant.
We are fighters. We go.
Headshot.
Spike down mid.
Enemy C.
Barrier created.
On my mark.
Enemy down.
Last player standing.
Right there.
I feel the strain. Block it out, Omen.
Reloading.
Spike down mid.
Here.
Put down. Careful now.
Come on, let's go!
Enemy in attacker spawn.
Off your feet! Get out of here!
One enemy remaining. Spike down mid.
Reloading.
No charges left.
You were a mountain. I
I'm a mountain.
My people, are you ready? You must cultivate a sense of calm.
I will be their nightmare.
Blocking vision.
I have them.
You dead? Right there.
Going up.
Reloading.
Spike planted.
Return to dust.
Last player standing. Last round in the half.
Equip yourselves, oh. Money day for life. Spend it.
Sorry, bro.
Get out of my way!
Engineers down.
One enemy remaining. Spike down, C.
Come on, let's go. Right. I'd stop that.
Switching sides.
Mistake my smile.
I take this all very seriously.
Pulling them in.
Enemy spotted.
For you.
Down.
Spike down, mid.
Omen killed. Right there.
Last player standing.
Once more into battle. I'm not tired. Are you?
Flow with this energy.
Blasting them.
Here.
Careful now.
Many enemies see.
Last player standing.
Wait until I blind them to strike.
Reloading.
Shadows traveling.
Reloading. Right
Reloading.
there.
Spike is down.
Spike down, C.
Reloading.
Last player
One dead.
standing.
Train harder.
Ah. 30 seconds left.
This is crazy. It feels like we've been doing this forever. Anyone else feel like that? Just me? Okay.
Can someone get this? Thank you.
Spike's here.
Reloading.
Let's go.
Cover going out. Stealing sight.
Concealment.
Teleport's ready.
Concealment. Blocking
Shadows
vision.
traveling.
Fought well.
Right there. Right there.
Reloading.
Daggers right there.
Reloading.
Gun here.
One enemy remaining.
Spike planted.
Last player standing.
Even with numbers, anything can still happen. Remember that.
It begins.
Get out of my way!
Shadows
Spike down A.
I have the spike.
Sage revive.
Do better.
Your duty is not over.
You can do that too.
Spike down A. Last player standing.
Y'all better keep up.
Fight!
Cover going out.
Going up.
Pulling them in.
Come on, let's go.
Right there.
Enemy removed.
Barrier is dead.
I take them out.
Spike down A.
Pulling them in.
Last player standing.
Knocking them. Useless individual.
These guns we use are okay, but I will also bring my own. No offense.
As one.
Cover going out.
No charges left.
Concealment. Obscuring vision. Pulling them in.
Reloading.
Enemy spotted A.
Reloading.
Well divided.
Barrier clear.
Spike planted.
Off your feet. You're out.
Pulling them in.
Healing.
Last player standing.
Enemy punch.
One enemy remaining.
Come on.
Clutch.
Hey people, come on now. I'm anticipating my congratulations.
You man ready for a light show?
Can someone get this?
Let me show you how the boss does it.
Get out of my way. Pulling them in. Obscuring vision.
Light planted. Wall raised.
remaining.
Super dead.
Last player standing. Match point.
Time to say goodbye.
Reloading.
Pulling them in.
Enemy.
Reloading.
Look sharp. Careful now. Raiders down.
Spike planted. Enemy spotted. Well divided.
One enemy remaining.
Killed them. Watching here. Distance quick. Settle.
Attackers win.
Ah, yes. This is progress, my friends.
Match found.
Yo, what's up everybody, welcome back to my channel, and in today's video I'm going to show you guys how to speed up your internet and decrease your ping in Windows 10. So let's get right into it.
Alright, so it's pretty transparent that people actually start to feel that skins do give them aimbot. It's a pretty transparent trend that has been going on for the past months now, and I
Rain is down.
Enemy spotted A. Enemy A. Healing.
Embarrassing.
One enemy remaining.
Here. Enemy spotted A. There you are, little shit. Reloading.
Where's that smile, Phoenix?
हाँ अच्छा आ रहा
Forward. Enemy spotted mid. Enemy spotted mid. Light planted.
Take our spawn.
Enemy spotted A.
Reloading.
Careful now. No charges left.
Get out of here.
Spotted A.
Last player standing.
has some good inventories. Would love to pick them apart.
Keep your eye on target.
Good attempt.
Hey, nice work. Enemy removed. Reloading.
Spike carriers down.
Enemy spotted me.
Spike down B. One enemy remaining.
Go.
I'm still here, amigo.
That was good, but we are not done. Keep up. Bomb buddy out. Satchel out. Satchel out.
Careful now.
There.
Enemy spotted mid. Watch this.
Fire in the hole! Reloading.
Sky kill.
One enemy remaining. Last player standing.
Lock in sight.
These new friends of ours are not too friendly.
There. No. No. Hey, nice work.
Hey, nice work. Enemy spotted me. Nice.
You will not kill my allies.
Last player
I
standing.
am your trail.
Race it to the spike sites.
मिड में उठा
No. That race sucks.
Enemy
I've
spotted.
got your trail.
सेज रैम्स पे रिवाइव कर
Your duty is not over. So what I miss? Reloading. Here.
Spike down A. Last player standing. Team Ace.
Take aim, then fire. Let's not complicate it.
My bad.
My bad. Together.
They are so dead.
Enemy mid.
Here.
Reloading.
Enemy mid. I'm enjoying this.
Here.
अरे यार
Train harder.
One enemy remaining.
Reloading.
Outrun me?
Reloading.
Weapon choice. It is so personal, no?
My
You
bad.
pick a gun and it tells me who you are.
Yes.
Does anyone have fun? Merci.
As one.
No.
क्या हो रहा है
Enemy
यार?
spotted. A.
Spike down A. Last player standing.
Time to stock back up.
You want to play? Let's play.
Message sent.
That one's dead.
There they are.
Light planted.
Last player standing.
Say something? Sorry, ear's still ringing. No.
Let's turn this around, squad. Come on! go!
Enemy spotted A. Your duty is not over.
Enemy spotted A. Reloading. Need healing. Reloading. Enemy down.
Careful now.
Thirty seconds left.
You will not kill my allies!
Ten seconds left. Last player standing.
Night night!
One enemy remaining.
Down.
These new friends of ours are not too friendly.
Let's go.
I've got your trail.
Colorful kill.
A gift. That works. Teleport's ready.
Trap destroyed.
Plant the spike.
Spike planted.
Get out of here.
Healing.
Last player standing. Last round before the switch.
We lose everything after this.
No.
Spend it.
No.
Spike's here.
My spot first.
Spotted B. Here comes the party.
The hunt begins.
Reloading. Enemy mid.
Healing. Got him. One down.
Last player standing. Switching
Just let them
sides.
try to catch me.
Caution here. Caution here. Fight! Caution here. Many enemies A. Mejia. Party's over.
Spike planted.
Careful now.
Watching here.
One enemy remaining.
Explosions. Reloading. No one beats my firepower. I got this.
Now they have my attention.
Spike down B.
Hey, nice work. Hey, nice work.
Careful now.
Here. Many enemies B.
Enemy B.
Last player standing. Spike down B. $30 left. One enemy remaining.
Triple, baby.
Careful now.
Spike planted.
Cheeky.
Clutch.
Oh, you thought you put up a fight?
Phoenix! Yo, that was insane! Yes.
Now,
Yes.
That's a good spot.
Spike planted. Last player standing. Flawless.
Buy stuff, ka-ching, little skrrr, then we're done. Yeah? Here.
Enemy spotted B. Enemy spotted B. Default well.
Spike planted.
I've got your trail. Reloading. Enemy spotted B.
You're out.
You will not kill my allies.
One enemy remaining.
Game. I love explosions.
New fight, new tactics, keep it fresh, yeah?
As one.
Come on, let's go!
I win again. Next work. Here. Enemy spotted A. Enemy spotted A. Rest.
The hunt begins.
One enemy remaining. Spike down A.
Come here.
30 seconds left.
I have them.
Spike planted.
There they are.
Reloading.
Reloading, we good. We good.
Look at me. I know that I am by your side. No. No.
Yes. No. Yes.
Don't hold back.
Hello. Caution here. Caution here.
Spike down B.
Spike is B. For you.
One enemy remaining.
I am not cleaning this up.
I'm amped. Let's go. I got things to do. Can I get a drop?
Thanks. Thanks. Keep up.
You want to play? Let's play.
Rain is down.
That didn't work. Here comes the party.
Here.
I blew you up. Enemy spotted mid.
One enemy remaining. Spike down mid.
They were not included.
Spike spotted mid.
I'm twitchy here. Let's go already.
Anyone need anything?
No.
Who will I spot first?
Fire in the hole!
What's this? I don't think so. Satchel out.
One enemy remaining. Spike down A. Team Ace.
How did they sink this?
Spike spotted A.
Reloading.
Once more into battle. I'm not tired. Are you?
No.
Gun here. Bonne chance, mes amis. Enemy spotted mid.
I've got your trail.
Spike planted.
Reloading.
Sage revive. Ram.
Last player standing.
It seems these strangers want me dead.
Can I get a drop?
They're not so first.
Thanks. Hey, nice work. Hey, nice work.
Here.
Sage wall करता था.
Here.
Caution here. Let's start this party.
Come on, let's go.
The hunt begins.
Target down.
Sage revive me. Revive me. Sage. Sage revive कर दे पहले bro. Hello.
इधर है आराम से.
वो भी revive
Your
करेगा।
duty is not over. You will not kill my allies.
अरे अरे बी 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 शायद बी पे साउंड आ रहा है। अरे आ गए
Spike down B. One enemy remaining. Thirty seconds left.
पिक मत
Satchel out. 10 seconds left.
नहीं होगा
Spike's
अरे
here.
भाई नहीं करना था चिल अरे साउंड मत कर
Y'all better keep up. I need a drop.
Fight.
से आराम कर रहे भाई
Spike planted.
अरे बहन
No charges left.
भाई वो हैंडल है हाँ इधर है आराम से
Last player standing. One enemy remaining.
वो नहीं पिक करेगा शायद अरे
All good. All good.
Match point.
They want to dance? I'll lead.
I have extra money if anyone needs.
I need a drop.
Thank you. Can I get a drop?
buy me Spectre, anyone, please.
Let me show you how the boss does it.
At least Spectre, bro.
Here.
Enemy A.
Careful now. Going up.
Multiple enemy.
Enemy.
That's done.
Spike planted.
Healer's down. Come on, let's go.
Last player standing.
You want to play? Let's play.
Attackers win.
Have to say, I'm someone that also has the feeling that a skin does improve my gameplay. Now, whether that's true or not is actually pretty simple. Do skins give me an aimbot? Do they increase anything about the way the gun plays in terms of stats? And the short answer is obviously no. They factually do not change anything about the gun. Whether it's the Vandal or the Phantom, skins do not change anything about the gun factually. In terms of stats, everything stays the same. So why is it that the majority of people still say that they have an aimbot and that they play better with specific skins? Because it is true, skins actually do improve gameplay for most of the people. Even if it factually doesn't change anything, it still improves their gameplay. And in this video, we're gonna break down exactly why that is. And as always, I do hope you guys enjoy the video. So as I told you guys before, skins factually don't change anything about how a gun is being played in terms of changing the statistics of a gun, for example. It doesn't change the fire speed, it doesn't change the reload animation, it doesn't really change anything at all, other than you having a nice looking gun. And to show you guys exactly what I mean, I went into the practice area and compared a default skin to a prime skin, for example, or a Reaver skin, or a Iron skin, just so you guys get a better understanding. So as you obviously just saw, nothing about these guns changes at all. Whether you have a skin or not, everything just stays the same. The reload time, the spray, all of these stats that you see right here they won't change at all, whether you have a skin or not. But there's one huge thing that people don't necessarily take into account when looking at these comparisons and just looking at the skins at all. It's something that you can only realize when you play with these skins, and this is the biggest factor as to why skins make you play so much better than just default weapons. It is the way they feel and sound in game which makes them so much better than just using a default Vandal, for example, or a skin without any sound or visual effects. Because that's the main reason so many people are in love with these whole skin collections, like the Prime collection or the Reaver collection or the Oni collection, for example. It's because of these sound effects and the visual effects that you get with these skins. And obviously we do have many other skins like the Rush skins or the Avalanche skins or the Lux skins, for example. But there is one huge reason as to why people don't play these as much as they play Prime skins or Reaver skins. And that's just the fact that these collections just lack effects. They lack sound effects, they lack visual effects, which makes them way less interesting than the other skins, because yeah, it's literally just a visual upgrade, but not really an upgrade in terms of how the gun plays in game, how it feels. And this is the main point. Skins like the Elder Flame Vandal, for example, or the Sovereign Ghost, or the Prime Vandal, or the Reaver Vandal, like everything that comes with sound effects, it just feels so smooth most of the time, especially with the Iron skins and the Prime skins. Like, shooting with the Prime Vandal is not comparable to anything else in this game. It just feels so crisp and satisfying when shooting this weapon because of the changes to its sound and to the visuals. And as I just said, the same thing is happening on the Iron skins, for example, where it also just feels so crisp and clean when shooting. Same thing goes for the Elder Flame as well, and the Reaver skins. Everything with the sound effect just feels different most of the time. Obviously, you have to try them out yourself. Some people prefer the Reaver Vandal way more than the Prime Vandal, and some people prefer the Prime Vandal way more than the Reaver Vandal. Which also goes to show that there isn't like one specific rule that says if you have a skin with sound effects, you're gonna have an improvement in game. Everybody is different, and everybody has a different perception of how one skin feels over another. But in general, sound effects do improve gameplay. And this isn't like the golden rule. Some people even prefer just default skins, but the majority of people prefer when it has sound effects and visual effects, and most of the time it really does give you an improvement in game. So yeah, it would really be interesting to see what you guys think about this whole topic. Let me know in the comments down below if you actually prefer having skin with sound effects, if they do help you to play in game, or if you just don't care at all and none of this stuff affects you in game. Either way, let me know in the comments down below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you like the content, and as always guys, I see you on the next one.
Believe it or not, there was a time when a unique color on a character model was representative of prestige or a prize for some grand quest line. As time went on, cosmetics for gameplay rewards made way for paid options that would progressively become more and more elaborate, eclipsing anything that could be achieved through gameplay. Even though the days are gone when a fancy hat signifies anything more than a deep wallet, gone are also the days when you actually have to pay for the game that you're playing. The truth is, cosmetics are a necessary, sparkly evil that funds the development of the game you enjoy. However, as scope and development costs increase, so do the cost of these shiny hats. This brings us to Valorant, Riot Games' newest free-to-play blockbuster. If you're here for the gameplay and have no care for any sort of visual finesse, you can simply play the game and have a grand old time climbing the ladder. However, as the title of the video implies, for better or for worse, lots of people care about cosmetics. Quite a bit, actually. As one of the primary methods of making money for a developer, a well-built in-game cosmetic system plays a large part in making or breaking a game for the players. And in turn, it makes it or breaks it for the developers too. With so many examples on the market of fair systems, it is here where Valorant lacks.
I think people have this really weirdly adversarial relationship with customers where they think customers fundamentally don't want to give don't want to spend money. They just want everything for free. Whereas we always think of it as people just want to spend their money on the things they like.
It's no secret that Valorant's core gameplay was inspired by the best elements of FPS giants like CSGO, Rainbow Six, and Overwatch. So logically, their cosmetic model takes a lot from them as well. Firstly, with the Battle Pass system, similar to that of the popularized Fortnite version first pioneered by Dota. And secondly, with a standard gunskin store. These two features, a skins shop and a Battle Pass, are par for the course for any free-to-play game these days. But it is exactly with these that players have issues with. Not the concepts, but the execution.
I don't know what did I just buy? Was that it? 11,000. What on earth?
The Battle Pass, while being a fairly standard feature in many competitive titles, has been the target of criticism by not following the successful Fortnite model of being able to generate enough currency within it to spend on the next season's Battle Pass. The Battle Pass as a whole not only encourages more player activity, but also provides a sense of satisfaction when progressing, and creating the illusion that you're saving money while unlocking the in-game rewards. In the long term, it's a win-win for both the players and the devs who see an increase in player retention as a byproduct. Even though the save for the next one system is only used by Fortnite and a few other titles, it does highlight the main gripe that there may not be enough rewards in it to feel worthwhile. The only currency that the Battle Pass does generate is Radianite, which is used primarily to upgrade existing gun skins, unlocking different color variations and occasionally different effects. A common issue that many have voiced is how free-to-play players, a sizable portion of the player base, have no use for this currency, as it can only upgrade skins bought with Valorant points. Even an alternative, unlockable version for a skin gotten in the Battle Pass could have alleviated this problem. But some have theorized that this was an intentional move to incentivize the player into buying a collection or skin that they otherwise would not have.
They give you like 5 or 10 when you need like 50 to unlock something, right? And you're like, oh my god. And they sting you, oh my god. And then you feel the effects and you're like, oh my god, I want more. But oh wait, you have to buy those, right? A little dosage and now you're addicted. And you come back, mommy 10 bucks, mommy 50 bucks, mommy 100 bucks, mommy sell the house.
The lacking Battle Pass aside, it's the skin store that's been generating most of the bad press. The cheapest you can get a single Valorant gun skin for is 875 VP, which roughly translates to $10 USD. The cheapest collection of gun skins, which includes 5 skins and a knife skin, costs roughly $50. More elaborate and fancy skins cost a bit more, but even at these cheapest prices, it's a bit higher than players are used to with similar models. On the opposite, high end of the spectrum is the newly revealed Elder Flame line. For 95 USD, you get 4 guns and a knife skin with a slew of animation and kill effects that we can safely say is pretty unique to what has been done in other FPSs. While this kind of innovation can be praised, it is unfortunate that it comes with such a steep price tag.
Do you have to buy the animations? That would be annoying. Hold on, let's see. You have to buy the animations. Okay, dude. Okay, dude.
Items in the cosmetic store are purchasable only with Valorant points, the paid currency of the game. Compared to a game like Overwatch, where you have the option to grind the currency to buy the cosmetics, it may seem like a step down. However, Overwatch is a pay-to-play game, so the differences have a bit of a reason to be there. As with any discussion of a cosmetic's worth, it all comes down to how exactly you yourself value these virtual items. In the case of Valorant, the community has been fairly vocal with its distaste on this value.
You want me to pay $75 for this? I'm gonna uninstall your game. I'm not even going to play it. This is ridiculous, man.
The most obvious comparison to draw from is CSGO, as it is Valorant's main competitor and inspiration. However, CSGO has the benefit of being integrated with the Steam market, so while on paper many of the gun skins may technically be costed more, a player who invests in these could always get back some of the investment for Steam currency, which could go into either another gun skin or some other item in the Steam ecosystem. If you think comparing Valorant gun skins to CSGO prices is considered unfair, which you can given the mere existence of the Steam economy and its complexities, the other comparison players have drawn on is Riot's flagship MOBA, League of Legends, and how the skins are priced there. The cheapest skin in League can be as low as $5, compared to the $10 in Valorant. A possible explanation could be that a skin in Valorant ends up being used more throughout games versus a skin for a champion, meaning that in total, players might be less inclined to spend money overall once they have tricked out the 3 to 4 guns that they main in games. Speaking to tricking things out in game, criticism has also been pointed as to how limited the customization options are. In Riot's defense, Valorant is still a very new game, so things such as full body or glove skins could still be in the works, and given the current global health situation, these might have been slower to roll out than the devs had initially planned. Gun buddies are a decent bit of visual flair that can make your gun your own. But Valorant might do good to take a page out of CSGO's cosmetic handbook and offer something like stickers to players as well. Not only could players trick out their favorite guns with their favorite esports team logos, but giving the players the option to also potentially stick them onto calling cards and player banners could show them to be valuable. There might be nowhere as many skins currently in Valorant as players would like, but eventually players will amass a collection of skins they either no longer enjoy using or regret purchasing by the time a more appealing cosmetic is released. Even now, there's plenty of people who would want to somehow return a Sovereign skin if it meant that they could unlock an item in the Elder Flame set. A potential fix to Valorant's cosmetic system might actually be found in League of Legends. Over the years, the League of Legends Hextech crafting system has become beloved by the player base as a way to unlock skins that they otherwise could not afford or see themselves going out of their way to buy. Without getting too much into it, when a player on your team has an exceptional performance, you will receive a Hextech chest that contains a variety of items such as champion shards, emotes, and wards that can be unlocked via crafting. But what most people get excited about is the prospect of getting skin shards. These items can be broken down to orange essence, which can be saved up and used in conjunction with a shard of your choosing to unlock that specific skin at the low cost of $0. Sure, this may require you to play more games and grind a bit, but for most players, this beats pulling out the credit card.
At this moment in time, skins are so expensive that people are only buying one skin package and after that are done and never buying a set again, or at least for a long time. Maybe in a year people will think about getting another skin or set, but definitely not each month.
Regardless of your view on them, cosmetics have become an integral part of multiplayer video games today. They allow the player to make their in-game representations their own, and reflective of their tastes. Valorant may be charging too much for what they offer currently, but there are avenues that they could take that make the experience feel like a better investment, instead of the incredibly unlikely scenario where they just lower all the prices. Sure, you can vote with your wallet, but at this stage of the game's release, Riot has settled on these price points because it's the highest amount players are willing to actually pay for these cosmetics. In the grand scheme of things, the cost of non-gameplay impacting cosmetics doesn't actually matter. However, as Robin Walker said, people are not against spending money, just on things they like. Nothing feels worse than the feeling of having wasted your money and being shoved the option to spend more just to get the premium version of what you bought with a different currency. Is an obvious solution for Valorant to simply lower the prices? Sure, but it's not going to happen at this point. Valorant can and should, however, upgrade the experience and options surrounding to make players feel like they're not wasting their money.
Right now, the Valorant community is divided into two halves. The one that is trying to master the gunplay, and the one that's patiently watching that bell in hopes of seeing a drop after 3 weeks of watching Valorant streams. But there is also the third group of people, who suck at the game and who rely on Raze's ultimate to get brief moments of satisfaction. But that's not the point. It seems like some of the people who are interested in Valorant's gameplay are also interested in the story of Valorant. Which absolutely makes sense, since Valorant has its own cast of very interesting and unique looking characters. And Jet. What you need to remember is that although other shooters may have characters of varying themes and sizes, to make the game 100% fair, Riot had to fit all of their characters into the same model size. That's why all of Valorant's characters are decently fit, with none of them being too big or too skinny. Apex Legends ignored this and people quickly abandoned Gibraltar because he was way too easy to hit. So just in case some of you believe that Valorant's characters all look somewhat the same and none of them really stand out, that's because Riot had to fit all of their characters into one universal size. But I'm pretty sure none of you are here to listen to me mumbling about how many polygons does Cypher's head have. So after a lot of delay, let's finally have a look at everything we know about the world of Valorant. Valorant is currently in a very unique spot, because as of right now, Valorant is the only game from Riot Games that has its own universe. League of Legends, Teamfight Tactics, Legends of Runeterra, Project L, Project F, The Ruined King, and even Convergence are all part of the universe of League of Legends. All of these 7 games are happening on Runeterra, which is great because this way Riot can focus on the games expanding the universe, instead of them having to explain a new world with each entry. And yet, even though Riot has this amazing fleshed out universe, they decided to give Valorant a totally different treatment. Because while League of Legends is happening on Runeterra, Valorant is happening on near future Earth, which means that despite the name being very, and I mean very confusing for someone who knows the world of League very well, Valorant has nothing to do with the universe of League of Legends. We'll get to this later, but just know that there are hints in Valorant that suggest that League of Legends exists as a game in the world of Valorant, similarly to what Blizzard did with Overwatch. Remember, Valorant is happening on our Earth, so having League as a game inside Valorant would definitely be possible. But that's about all the relations between the two universes we have. Yes, there is also that Jet poster in the KDA universe of League, but that was just an Easter egg for the anniversary, and I doubt the two universes are linked. Unless Valorant as a game also exists in one of the alternative universes, but that's too far-fetched. There is also that Shreeman design on Sage. But as far as we know, Riot just thought that it was a cool design, and so they reused it. But now, let's get into the actual story of Valorant. It is still unclear whether Riot will write separate stories for Valorant, just like what they are doing for League. But personally, I hope they won't. As you'll see in a moment, just from running around the maps in-game, you can learn a lot about the world, and you can get a good idea as to what is happening there. And honestly, finding the story yourself by exploring the game feels really awesome. So I am a bit afraid that this feeling will go away once Riot starts putting out actual stories. But still, regardless of what storytelling approach Riot will choose, we need at least a basic setup of the world. And from reading all the different interviews, this is currently all the official lore we know. The story of Valorant is happening on Earth, roughly around the year 2053. We know this because I found a calendar with the year on it in some of the alpha footage. What is interesting is that when Valorant got into the playable beta, Riot kept the exact same calendar in the game, but they removed the year. I wonder if it's because Riot saw my tweet, and they actually wanted to keep the specific year a secret. But regardless, the reason why the world of Valorant looks a bit apocalyptic is because the world was shaken by a cataclysmic event that was referred to as the First Light. It is unclear whether this event happened because of some alien influence, or if it was just a scientific experiment, but the First Light essentially terraformed the planet. And soon after that, strange things started happening all over Earth. Out of nowhere came this new bizarre material, which people started referring to as Radianite. And because this new material was rare, it quickly became valuable and very expensive, which is why Riot probably used it as a currency in the game. But Radianite only gained its true value once humanity found out that exposure to this material can grant people superpowers. Bearing the name of this newfound godlike matter, those who were gifted with supernatural powers were called Radiants. A bit later after that, as humanity got a good idea of what is happening in the world and why there are superheroes everywhere, a new shadow organization called Valorant Protocol popped up. The purpose of this organization was to focus on dealing with Radianite, Radiants, and simply to keep the world in check. But in order to do this, the Valorant Protocol needed talented people. And in many cases, since they were fighting people with superpowers, they had to get some Radiants on their side too. Collectively, regardless of their backgrounds, whether they were gifted or not, and whether they were heroes or even criminals, the people who fought for the Valorant Protocol were called agents. And this is where our playable characters step in. Right now, just by looking at the in-game banners and icons, it is obvious that Riot has at least some basic lore planned for all of them. And these stories will probably be released once the game launches. But even without this information, we already know a couple of things about the agents. So, let's go through them. As I mentioned just a minute ago, not everyone in the Valorant Protocol is a Radiant, so not all of them have supernatural powers. So let's start with all the quote-unquote normal agents. First, we have Brimstone, a commander from the USA who has access to orbital weaponry. Now, orbital cannons in sci-fi are usually high-end tech, but there may be an explanation as to why Brimstone is able to use them. His newest update slapped this K logo onto his gear. Later, as we'll go through all the maps, you'll be able to see that the K is the logo of the Kingdom Corporation, which seems to be a rich and powerful company in control of Radianite. Originally I thought that the Kingdom Corporation would be the villains, but later you'll see that maybe that's not the case. Anyway, Brimstone is either a former or a current member of the Kingdom. Then there is Viper, who also came from the USA. Her card reveals that in the past, Viper used to be a scientist working on toxins, and her basic summary on the website suggests that she's also a bit crazy. Cypher comes from Morocco. He is an engineer tinkerer who seems to be genuinely excited about the potential use of Radianite in his inventions. If you listen to him in-game, he occasionally mumbles about Radianite there.
That Radianite must be ours.
Then there is Sova, a Russian scout named after the bird of prey. Since he is an expert archer, he got himself a custom bow. What's interesting is that his gear, including this bow, seems to be linked to his augmented eye. So the reason why he is able to see enemies after firing revealing arrows is because the arrows are likely sending signals to his robotic eye. That's why he can track people only if they are within the line of sight of the arrow. And I assume that the same eye link goes for his recon drone. You can even tell by his animation when he's using it. Then we have Breach, a Swedish engineer who lost both of his arms. Unfortunately, we don't know much about him besides where he comes from. But I have to say, as a Breach main, I really like the original orange coloring. Ever since they updated him to green. From a distance he looks like a bowl of salad with some carrots, cucumbers and turnips. There is also that tiny logo on his hands. But as of right now, we don't know what that one represents. And the last of the normal people is Reis, a Brazilian technician who seems to be excited about explosives. Again, because Reis was the latest addition to the agent roster, we don't know much about her. But from her player card, it seems like we will get a story about how she raised above the others. Which brings us to the Radiants, the people who were affected by Radianite. As we go through them, just notice how all of them have some form of elemental powers. This might be because the superpowers are just a side effect of the first light terraforming the entire planet. So since Radianite can manipulate the Earth, it only makes sense that it would radiate out primal elemental forces. So first in line we have Jet, a Korean Radiant who's able to manipulate the wind. That's why she can jump high, float, dash and even levitate daggers. It's all just the wind. Next up is Phoenix, a Radiant from the UK. Phoenix was gifted with the ability to control fire, so it makes sense for him to make firewalls and fire puddles. Even the flash makes sense, since it is just fire burning really bright. But I wonder what's the deal with his ultimate. I mean, I get that it is a reference to the legendary Phoenix dying and rising from the ashes, but I'm not sure how that's supposed to work lore-wise. Is Phoenix actually immortal? Maybe that's a mental curse that will make his character interesting. Immortal people have tendencies to go insane as a result, and the signs are there.
Stay out of the fire. Super high level tactic, remember that, yeah?
But then there is Sage, a Radiant from China. She seems to have the ability to manipulate Earth. That's why she can raise walls and crystalline the ground. But I wonder how the lore will explain her healing people, or even reviving them. Which brings us to Omen, our last Radiant. The point of Omen's character is that he is supposed to be mysterious. But the irony is in the fact that we probably know the most about him. His voice line suggests that Omen is linked with death. And it seems like he is truly immortal. He even mentions that he died many times before. On top of that, he often talks about balance when he's around Sage.
I can feel her pull against the natural balance.
And he even asks her if she knows where do the souls come from when she revives people.
Sage, the life you give. Do you ever wonder where it's taken from?
But probably the most interesting detail is that Omen also talks about a new character, Sabine, which is a character that was already data mined in the files. So she is likely going to be a playable character.
Sabine, look at the monsters we've become. At least you have flesh to hide your horror.
Omen suggests that perhaps Sabine was involved in turning Omen into what he is now. But unlike Omen, Sabine is still a living human. This dark transformation into whatever Omen is now probably happened during an experiment in the Kingdom Corporation. Because if you look closely at Omen's updated cloak, there is the K logo. So when it comes to character development, ironically, the most mysterious agent has the most potential. But that's all we know about the agents. So now we know what's happening with the world, and we know the basics about our main characters. But we still need to have a look at what is happening in the game. And I hope you were paying attention when I was talking about Radianite, because this is where the fun begins. Just keep in mind that the game's world is still changing. So what we are getting into now are all just theories. Let's start with the Haven map, because on the defender side, you can see what Radianite is capable of. What you can see there in the middle is a Radianite crate which contains Radianite. What is interesting is that throughout the entire game, we can't find a single piece of raw Radianite, so we don't know what the material actually looks like. We can only find it bunched up in these crates. The closest image to raw Radianite we have is the player card called Radianite Explosion, which actually shows us what happened here. And that takes me back to the reason why I wanted to show you the Haven first. This map shows us the power Radianite holds, and it shows us one of the results of Radianite affecting Earth. You can see how it terraformed the entire place, and in the process it destroyed the city. So the reason why there is a Radianite crate here is probably because people tried to contain the power of the Radianite that was found here. Now the colors of these crates are up, you can find all the crates here. And if you look down, you can actually notice that this entire place is a massive elevator. So perhaps there are more Radianite crates below this place. Site A are the loading docks. Not only is this where you can find the crates ready for transportation, but the little place under the window is where the trucks come in and pick up the crates. You can even see the track marks on the ground there. And Site C is the entrance to the vaults. This is where we can find a smaller elevator for individual crates. Now, there are two things we need to talk about here. First of all the elevators are branded with the Kingdom logo, which is why I thought that the Kingdom Corporation would be the villains. They are the guys who manipulated with Radianite here, and from the environment around, it looks like they found this ancient temple and they claimed it for themselves. On one side you can see the Asian culture intact, but on the other side of the map you can see that someone turned it into a shooting range. But still, there is one reason why the Kingdom Corporation may not be the villains. When you are playing the game, you are bombing the equipment of the Kingdom Corporation, so you are destroying what they built. But to do so, you are using a bomb made by the Kingdom. Because if you look at it, you can actually find the K logo on it. And this is what confused me. But the confusion quickly passed as I realized that you are also defusing the bomb with Kingdom's tools, so it doesn't matter. You may notice that Riot isn't using the term bomb, but instead they call it the spike. This could be because Riot is trying to keep the game at least a little bit family friendly. But there is also the theory that the spike is simply not a bomb, and maybe it is just disabling Radianite. But everything is pointing at the fact that the spike is a bomb. But to detonate, it needs Radianite in its proximity. But it is more likely that none of what you are doing here actually has any meaning. Perhaps the Radianite explosion, the station, and all the bomb sites have some actual lore, but you planting a spike here is just nonsense. I still do believe that the Kingdom Corporation are the villains, and the reason why you as a player are running around and planting down spikes, made by the Kingdom, is because the Kingdom are so powerful and rich that they make most of the expensive equipment. We shouldn't be asking why we are using a bomb made by the Kingdom, we should be asking why does it even exist. The last thing we can mention about the Haven is what is happening here. Since there is an actual vault here with a loading bay, we can safely assume that the corporation delivers crates here, so they could be safely stored underground. And perhaps the Radianite explosion wasn't an accident, but someone wanted to stop them. In fact, as you'll see later, the Kingdom is advertising their yoga retreat, which seems to fit this environment. So what I think is happening on this map is that the Kingdom is slowly turning it into their executive yoga retreat, and the agents are trying to prevent this amazing idea from being built. But when it comes to the massive Radianite explosion in the middle, I am still not sure what caused it. But now let's move on to the next map, Bind. Bind is very interesting because this entire place is a massive Radianite refinery, ran by none other than the Kingdom. Site B are the laboratories. This is where you can find all the computers with all the research about Radianite, and you can even find the Kingdom Refinery logo on one of the screens. In the hall you can also find all the souvenirs, including something that may be raw Radianite, with some kind of a machine extracting the Radianite right next to it. The main bomb site is an actual elevator, but this one says Radiant Holding, with Radiant being the special term for those who are affected by Radianite. So I have no idea what's the real meaning of this elevator. Either way, if you look down, you can find more crates there. Site A is the reactor, where the actual refining is happening. If you look inside the main building there, you can see that the Kingdom is making some kind of black matter. What's interesting is that this black matter perfectly matches the color of the spike's explosion, which makes me think that this is where the Kingdom is making spikes. If you look outside, you can also see that the building has a loading dock. You can see where the trucks come in. In fact, you can see one of them parked right there. And you can see the two openings in the docks, which is where you would place the crates. But what's interesting is that there are no crates inside that would be ready to be loaded out, which makes it feel like the crates only come in here to be processed and perhaps turned into the spikes. The other option would be the exact opposite. Maybe this is where raw Radianite gets processed and placed into the crates, and from here it is transported into the vaults, such as the one in Haven. But right now, we simply don't know which one of these is the case. What is really awesome about this map is that all the things I just talked about are not even the coolest lore here. There are some details that make this place so much better. If you look around, you can see these machines tearing the place apart. Well, that's most likely the kingdom trying to expand their factories, and so they are slowly consuming the surrounding cities. You can even notice the cool transition from the south, where the city is still intact, to north, where the landscape slowly rolls into modern factories. But what's extra spicy about this is that in the northern part of the map, where you can see the kingdom tearing down the buildings, you can see the locals protesting against it. And in fact, Cypher has something to say about this place, and he confirms that all of this is in Morocco.
What has Kingdom done to this town? However pretty their lies are, they're just sucking my city dry.
There are posters that protest against Radianite crates, against Kingdom's factories, but there are also posters with rats in front of a Radianite crate, some articles about the trucks transporting the crates, and occasionally you can find the text Kingdom of Lies sprayed around. But most importantly, you can also find this person, who is most likely the head of the kingdom. Now, what's so special about him is that he is most likely going to be the next playable character. And I'm not saying this just to sound interesting and to get people commenting on this video. We do actually have some evidence. First of all, you can see that in the picture, the man's head is inside a Radianite crate. But that's not just a symbology where the guy would be the head of all Radianite operations. It's because this person might be using Radianite to infuse himself with it, which means that he himself would be the Radianite crate. Which sounds like a whole lot of horse poop, until you realize that people already data mined a model of an agent who's nothing but a crystallized skeleton, and we even have the portrait. But unfortunately, that is all we know about this person. The last thing we should mention on the bind map is that in order to clean their name a bit, the kingdom is sometimes advertising the things they are making with all the Radianite, such as the Radiant Island, a place which the kingdom wanted to lift into the air with the power of Radianite, but more on that later. Before we move on, let me quickly mention that once again, we are not really sure why we are bombing these places. Again, we are not sure if the spikes behave like bombs, but if they do, maybe here you would be on the side of the locals, and you would be tearing down the factories. Also, there are these portals, but we have no lore explanation for them whatsoever. But now, let's move on to Split. This map is glorious, because right as you spawn in, if you look up, you are greeted with what seems to be the kingdom headquarters. Or at least we think that's the headquarters, because everything around here points at that being the case. But right next to it there is a smaller building that is still under construction, and it seems like the point of this map is that the agents are trying to prevent it from being built. Since this is where the kingdom's headquarters likely are, you can notice how this entire place is being controlled by the Kingdom Corporation. There are crates with their supplies everywhere. They got their own brand
Match
of cola,
found.
Kingdom Cola, which is apparently better. Better than Pep, which is a reference to Pepsi. There are banners that advertise what seems to be Kingdom's Zoo, and right next to those they advertise Kingdom's Radianite Springs. And let's not forget about the Kingdom Executive Yoga Retreat. And they even have their
Hey, Raina, how old are you? No shade, you look great, but, like, sometimes you say the strangest things.
I got the spike.
Rotate, 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 rotate.
Spike drop.
Heaven.
Reload him.
Enemy spotted B.
Reload it.
Ropes चलो ropes.
जाओ जाओ जाओ. अरे जाओ जाओ रोब्स जाओ. अरे वेब से जाओ वेंट से भागो. भागो वेंट.
एक heaven.
Okay okay chill chill plan.
Embarrassing.
Easy.
Spike planted.
One enemy remaining.
Out of range.
Someone's in defender spawn.
अरे यार मैं राइट क्लिक क्यों किया? Sorry.
Last player standing.
Hi Aga.
Hold hold. नेट डाल वहाँ पे. Easy. सेव करेंगे चले जाओ उसके पास. अपन जीत गए.
I'm twitchy here. Let's go already.
ए चलो. एंट्री दिलाता मैं.
Let's flush them out. Enemy spotted A. Reloading. Go get him. Enemy killed. Enemy spotted A.
आ जाओ बे. स्पाइक लेके आओ.
Reload him. Careful now.
Enemy spotted
Reload
A.
him.
Still inside. One enemy remaining.
Backstep.
That's it.
One step closer.
ये राउंड के में एंट्री दिला ना. रेज.
How did we forget the spike?
रेज एंट्री दिला.
Reloading.
रेज आगे जा सबसे. कैसे जाता है उसको देख ले.
Reloading.
Blocking sight.
कैंपर क्या करके बैठे.
Spike down
कैंपर है
B.
बोला ना.
Reloading.
A gift.
Phoenix, you can flash. Phoenix, you can flash.
Molly.
अरे मारना सामने
Last
spray
player
है।
standing.
Killjoy is an offense to my radiance. I'll break her
नहीं
apart.
बे।
Need a drop. Reloading.
I got you, bruv.
रुक मेरे को जान के आगे।
Blocking sight. Blocking sight.
Close it.
Enemy spotted A.
Got him.
Oops.
Cutting their vision. You're nothing. Reloading.
Plant the spike.
One enemy remaining.
ये भी साइड पे।
Our spike carrier's down.
Spike down A.
They will cover.
Careful now.
See nothing. Don't worry. Your life won't go to waste. You say something? Sorry. Ear's still ringing. Reloading. There.
Here.
Let's go.
Reloading.
सरक रेस।
Watch this. Enemy spotted A.
Going up.
Bomb out.
Left side.
Enemy spotted A.
Here, in sight.
Reloading.
रोटेट कर ले।
Spike is down.
Spike down A.
There they are.
Last player standing.
Teleport's gone. That works.
This is crazy. It feels like we've been doing this
Need a
forever.
drop.
Anyone else feel like that? Just me? Okay.
Can I drop?
Reloading. Reloading.
Reload him.
Reloading.
डायरेक्ट जा फिनिक्स डायरेक्ट जा। आ जा रहना मेरे साथ। रुक जा पिक पत्ते रुक जा।
Reload him.
My ult's not ready.
Careful now.
Reloading.
Still in sight.
Stay down.
Come on, let's go.
Faster.
Last standing. Spike down B. Thirty seconds left.
I hate to say it, but probably best to play as a team. So,
What's the plan?
I need a drop. They are so dead.
Reloading. Take control. Reloading. I've got your trail.
Prepare for hellfire. Spike down B. Last player standing. Flawless.
We're here because we're the best. Don't any of you forget that. Reloading.
चेंबर स्किन देना फैंटम की.
Reloading.
Let me show you how the boss does it.
Fire in the hole! Reloading.
Careful now. Strike carriers down.
Enemy spotted A.
Spike down A.
Enemy got
अबे यार.
Cutting their vision.
Going up.
Last player standing.
That's a good spot.
You will not kill my
There they
ally.
are. That's 3. A gift. They found my
30
trap.
seconds left. They're just batteries. And I need a
भाई
recharge.
डुएलिस्ट क्या कर रहे हैं अपने? रेस चले जा, मैच छोड़ के चले जा.
Don't hold back.
फिनिक्स भैया एंट्री दिलाओ यहाँ से.
Reloading.
Reloading. Reloading.
Here.
Careful now. Someone's mid.
Woo! Reloading. Reloading. Here comes the party. Here.
चल 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 भाग भाग. कैंपर है भाई ये बहुत बड़ा. रुक जा, स्मोक हटे तक जा भाई. ए से रोटेट करके.
Feeling sight.
रुक रुक पीछे.
Last player standing. Spike down mid. 30 seconds left.
Okay, okay.
I got the spike.
Ten seconds left.
Spike planted.
भाई सरेंडर कौन नहीं किया था यार?
Okay, I only have like 78 grenades left. Hopefully that's enough.
ए पे चलो मैं एंट्री दिलाता हूँ.
Blocking sight. Enemy spotted A.
Cutting their Spike down A. Last player standing.
I have them. Trap teleport's broken. Teleport's gone.
They're going to scatter from my stuff. Super easy to pick off. Reloading.
एक बार एंट्री दिलवा दो भैया, एक बार बस भाई, घुस के मार देंगे सबको.
I've got your trail.
They will cover. Reloading.
Enemy killed. You're out.
क्या फेंक रहा है?
One enemy remaining.
Plant the spike. Going up.
Plant the spike.
Here. Spike planted.
Last round in the half.
We lose everything after this. Spend it.
अभी पूरे यहीं पर रहेंगे वो देखकर.
They are so dead.
Let's make some chaos. Okay. You should run.
पीछे आ जा रे. ऑपरेटर है, ऑपरेटर है.
Ay, corazón. Spike down A. Last player standing.
Sky's out.
यार पिंग.
Satchel out. Satchel out. Fire in the hole.
Switching
Place is nice,
sides.
but not nice enough to die in. Let's win and get out of here.
Fire.
Attackers win. Still in sight.
They will cower! They will cower! Blind fools.
Cutting their vision. Cutting their vision. Still in sight. Match found.
They have no idea how heartless I am.
Own coffee shop, simply called Crown. What's interesting here is that the logo of this coffee shop, which is just a crown, feels somewhat similar to the crown Phoenix has on his jacket. So I wonder if the crown is a sub-brand of the Kingdom Corporation, and perhaps Phoenix bought one of their jackets. If it was made by the kingdom, it would make sense why the inside is glowing. Maybe that's Radianite. An interesting detail is that if you look inside a coffee shop, you can find 2 realistic paintings. I wonder if those are actually real. Anyway, the point is that the kingdom logo is absolutely everywhere. So this city is absolutely controlled by the kingdom. But every now and then, you can find this advertisement. It simply says, "Take back our home," and it has anti-kingdom imagery. So perhaps there is still some resistance here. Now, Bombsite A is a massive train station owned by none other than the Kingdom Corporation. And this place is absolutely full of little details. If you get close to the main board, it actually imitates RGB pixels. If you look at the tracks in the background, you can actually see trains there. But most important of all is the fact that you can see where all the trains are heading. Here, besides all the real places and other Easter eggs, you can see that the trip to Nagano hideout was cancelled, together with Shark Tank. I wonder if these will have any significance to the lore. After all, Blizzard did something similar with Overwatch. I assume the reason why we would be planting the
Their
spike
jet
in
is
front of the
fast.
entrance to a train
So
station
are
would
rabbits
be
and
either to
squirrels.
stop people from
I find
leaving or
both.
entering, or the agents just really don't like their coffee. I'm just kidding, it's because the agents are trying to take down this massive pylon. Because on the other side, Bombsite B has something similar. Remember the satellite station on the Haven map? Here we are bombing a pylon that is connected to the exact same satellites. What's interesting is that on the ground below it, there is a singular Radianite crate. But this one is orange and not green. And this is what I was talking about when I mentioned that maybe the colors are important for the lore. Because here an orange Radianite crate might indicate that it is unstable. And maybe we are detonating it with Spike. Also notice how the pylon is glowing with red and orange, while the other one is just blue. I wonder if that's also because of the orange crate. But before we leave this place, I should mention the last 2 Easter eggs. The bear behind the...
Enemy spotted A.
Spike planted.
Enemies here. Reloading. Reloading. Reloading.
Neutralized.
Blocking sight. Reloading.
1 enemy remaining.
Reloading.
Defuse the spike.
Last player standing.
I will not die here.
Clutch.
Gentle Sage is not so gentle after all.
Wall raised.
There they are.
For you.
One enemy remaining. Spike down A.
Spike spotted A.
Time to kneel.
Wall raised.
Spike down A.
Enemy spotted mid.
Last player standing. One enemy remaining.
Even with numbers, anything can still happen. Remember that.
Revealing area. Shock dart.
Spike down A. One enemy remaining.
I won't be stopped.
Continue to fight. Continue to win.
Anyone have funds to spare? Thank you. On my mark. You better run, Sova. Enemy spotted mid.
Cutting their vision.
I got your track.
Viper, watch this.
Toxins going up.
Spike down A.
Shot down.
One enemy remaining.
Let them try to get through me.
Need a drop. Need a drop. Thank you.
Get out of my way!
Viper, your voice is low, bro. My voice is low? Is it better now? Yeah, your voice is low. Silence. I don't know what's wrong.
See ya.
Off your feet!
You will not kill my allies.
Spike planted. Last player standing.
Who's a smother first?